Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Forecast AV. Here I'm sitting with Netgear Product Director Laurent. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. And my name is Zec. For those who doesn't know, I'm a Product Development Director at WyreStorm. And today's podcast is going to be talking about the Netgear and the WyreStorm partnership. We're going to talk about all the new cool features that we provide from both sides and how those features are going along together and what we are providing as a features and the sets that goes together. Um, I want to start this podcast with the partnership inside the partnership of these two companies. I want to talk about what this collaboration makes really strong. And I want to start with how easy it is to configure Netgear switch when it comes to WyreStorm products. And maybe Laurent can tell us more about the Netgear profiles and how easy it is to set up the network switch for AV over IP.
Thank you, Zach, and thank you, WyreStorm. Thank you for hosting me. So my pleasure. So let's take it this way. As you know, Netgear is a global IT company. We do Ethernet devices like switches, Wi-Fi, wireless for like 30 years now. But 10 years ago, approximately, we made the decision to build a dedicated AV line, okay? Because we understood with WyreStorm, one of our very first partners in the history, and since then, with more than 400 different manufacturers, that it was difficult. You know, the learning curve configuring IT switches. So now, 10 years after that, well, we have several AV line series. So we call it the Netgear AV. And to answer your question, instead of exposing the IT settings for multicast, QoS, discovery, we have a AV software operating system that our customers can use. And instead of manipulating those IT settings, they are going to select a WyreStorm profile for video, but also audio, and apply those profiles across one switch or a bunch of them. So this is how we could actually pack the certified configuration and remove that IT complexity.
Yeah, and it's really, really straightforward process. And we are making it even more easier because Netgear AV switches are supporting LLDP, link layer discovery protocol. It's basically a way that when you plug the WyreStorm product, the Netgear switch will recognize that that's the WyreStorm product and select that profile automatically. So even it's easier, it's out of the box configuration. I want to talk about also about the series of the Netgear switches. We have been offering the Netgear switches directly to our customers through WyreStorm, and it's been the Netgear switch series 4250. But now you have the new series. So if you can tell us more about the new series, the M4350.
Absolutely, Zach. So you just mentioned the Netgear AV line, the M4250 series. So those switches historically were introduced during the pandemics. Remember, so that was not a great time for a product introduction, but they are very successful because they look good, right? They are black. The ports are in the back. The front is very neat. And it's for 1 gigabit access, audio and video, with 10 gigabit uplinks when you want to design a network with video flowing. And the 4250, we go from 8 port to 48 port, let's say. So, yes, at the same time, using the very same AV operating system, so the AV user interface, the profiles for WyreStorm, the external Engage controller, maybe we'll talk about that later. We have the very same AVOS across other platforms. So to answer your question, before the 4250, when everything started at Netgear AV, we used to have the M4300s. So they are different. They look like a little bit more IT switches. This time the ports are in the front, and then you have the fans in the back, and then you have the removable, redundant power supplies, and plentiful more bells and whistles, such as higher speed ports. So the 4350 has been the replacement, the newer generation. So take it this way. 4250, this is good when you have a customer facing AV rack because the switch is good, all the cabling is in the back, power, IOs, and on the front you have that neat panel with LEDs. But if you are in a wiring closet, or if you have an installation in a much larger network, then maybe you have a technical room, okay? And in this technical room, you may want to add power redundancy. You may want to add 25 gig Ethernet, 100 gig Ethernet, because you want to build a large networks. So 4350 is starting where the 4250s with their 1 gigabit ports they stop. So with 4350 you can range up to dozens of thousands of endpoints, encode, decode with control and audio, because you have power redundancy, and you can scale all the way up to the 100 gigabit Ethernet.
Nice, and very good that you touched that redundancy. I think it's really important. We hear a lot of feedback from our customers that the redundancy is such an important factor, and even when they need to apply to a certain projects, the redundancy is a requirement, and that's why I like to hear from your side that you're supporting redundancy power supply as well as we are supporting. So our well-known network HDCTL, the controller is supporting redundancy. So you can put two controllers at one system. If one fails, the other one will take over. And I'm happy to hear that Netgear has also redundancy program. So really, really good. And again, the collaboration where you can have everything together from the two different companies working as a one. The other thing I want to talk about is the rise of the AV over IP and the future. I'm constantly talking about how the growth of adoption of the AV over IP is growing. The matrices, the standard the HDMI, HDBaseT matrices are going down, and that AV over IP is the future. And I think Netgear recognized this as well, and that's why we have a Netgear AV. So I want to hear from you the opinion about the AV over IP and where you see it in the future.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I think we are at this stage. We are pivoting almost entirely. So let me explain. I joined Netgear personally more than 20 years ago, and personally, I got no clue about AV over IP by then. Maybe if I try to remember, CES 2009, 2010, maybe EVB. The Avenue Alliance AVB audio
Yeah.
was introduced for the first time. That was one of the first audio over IP protocol, and a big protocol. So fast forward, you're right. AV distributions, audio video, always used analog and digital. Okay, but it was very complex because if you want at that time to distribute, to route, to switch AV, you were needing a bunch of mixers and splitters and big circuit based switches. So with AV over IP, all that is simplified because all the switching, the scaling, the multi-view, the picture-in-picture, I mean, all those operations are in software. And as you know now, the installation is streamlined because you have encoders and decoders, and the network became the fabric. So to answer your question, if I want to try to compare between analog digital and AV over IP, situation is quite different between audio and video. I think it's safe to say that for audio, uh, it's almost 100% done. I mean, it's very rare to see analog or digital audio by now. So Dante, AES67, QSys, and let's not forget AVB. Uh, those are everywhere. So we are close to the 100%. But for video, well, HD-based T, this ancient, cumbersome, complex, technology is probably fading out a little bit. And I don't think I take much risk if I tell you that for us, because we are powering all that, we want to serve that transition. We are very humble. We just want to make it easier and remove the risk of the Ethernet, the IP part of AV over IP. I believe we are almost, at 50% now, the transition. So it's probably different between United States, North America, Europe, Asia Pac, but globally we are just above half, and this is then growing. And I'm glad that we have this conversation today, because there's probably still many things that WyreStorm and the AV industry can do to make this transition go 100%.
Definitely. That's an amazing and very interesting information. And I'm glad that you mentioned the other, especially the audio protocols. But also, I want to talk about the different protocols that we are going to support and that you guys are also supporting. So we announced recently that all our Network HD 500 series that are based on JPEG 2000 are supporting Dante AVA. So every single Network HD 500 SKU is supporting Dante AVA, and I think that's basically the goal where everybody should go for it. I think to be open to standard protocols that everybody strives to that, but still it's not happening. And not just mentioning the Dante AVA, but also the NDI. WyreStorm is going to introduce the new NDI products on Infocom in Orlando this year, and I'm really excited with this about this. And I think Netgear is also supporting both of these protocols, so it's again a really nice collaboration between these two. So if you can tell us more about these protocols.
Of course, yeah. So NDI, I can even tell you a story. 6, 7 years ago, there was kind of a war, in the studios or broadcast industry with the cameras, with NDI, because NDI was very offensive. NDI was destroying Dante, so it was really hard to make NDI Dante work together. And back in the days, NDI was new tech, and Visoti and Audinate in Australia, they were doing Dante, and there was a lot of friction and thousands of tech support tickets in both those companies. So yeah, Netgear AV, because we wanted to help, we knocked the door in Australia, we knocked the door in the US, and we said, what can we do? Can we help? And we did. So Netgear AV was the very first switching platform certified, just after the pandemic. So I'm glad to tell you that you show next to the WyreStorm current profiles, so that you can do your video. We have NDI 4, we have NDI 5, we have NDI 6, and we can support AES 67, Dante Audio, or QSys in the same profile, in the same broadcast domain. And well, now going back to today, and the AI has evolved. It's now an independent, larger company. The ecosystem is growing. And just visit their website. You'll see M4250, M4350, and Netgear AV positioned as the certified solution there. So, yeah, we are going to support you nicely.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think NDI is going to bring a lot of attraction to WireStorm. We are bringing not just one single solution, but multiple solutions. We are building an NDI protocol directly into our network HD. We are also going to provide some NDI bridges, but I'm not gonna talk too deep into this. This is going to be all released on the Infocom. So let's just wait for that. You will also be part of the Infocom, correct? And you are gonna be there. I think and I'm quite sure that Netgear will have a really nice booth there.
Absolutely. So, Netgear AV, the whole crew will be at Infocom. I'll be there too. I'll be happy to meet you and all your colleagues and partners out there. And there's still a small difference. And I like very much. I like to see you disclosing, everything's coming at Infocom and all that. Unfortunately, Netgear is a public company, and I just can't disclose, at this stage, everything we are going to show at the Infocom. But let me wrap it up. We have a lot of new switchers, coming that you may expect, and we will be very happy to show the latest in the operating system with the profiles, the software, and the Engage controller.
Okay, you can tell us more about the Netgear Engage. I saw some videos and I saw it on ISC as well. And if you can tell us more about how it works and how people can check it out.
Sure. And let me make it even more simple. Okay, so uh, we just so far understood that we do support, thanks to this partnership for many, many, many years, WyreStorm globally for all your endpoints, encoders and decoders, and we are going to continue to do so when the WyreStorm products evolve with some more discovery, LLDP, some more protocols like Dante AV, like NDI. So what does it mean? It means that thanks to this mutual certification process, we agreed between WyreStorm and Netgear that we have a profile, and in fact we have more than one because we support many, many audio in addition to the video. So WyreStorm is across the board available in the Netgear AV operating system. So this AV operating system is on the switch, right, Zach? So you said we for instance deliver to our customers to help them the Netgear M4250. So when we open the box, we have a AV GUI, and then we can see the WyreStorm profile. We can apply that, for instance, to the VLAN 1, or make a blue VLAN 10 or a purple VLAN 20. So what we have done a little bit less than 3 years ago, we said, okay, that's good. But if, Zach, you have a deployment with 10 switches, a core and 9 switches at the edge, or let's say you go to a large corporate headquarters, and this time you need to deploy 20 or 30 or 100 switches in a large universities, you are going to do that 100 times. Okay, so we understood that 3 years ago. This is where we are going. This is still new, but we went live 2 years ago with the Netgear Engage controller. So this is pretty much the same thing, but instead of connecting to one switch, we can see the entire network. So you just go to netgear.com/engage. You download yours for free. It's either for Windows or Macintosh. And from there, you will discover the 100 switches at once. You will see the very same certified profiles, and you can configure, deploy your WyreStorm profile across the entire network. So this is the same thing, but on steroids.
Amazing, amazing, and that's why I think it's really important to have a partnership with the Netgear like company as a WyreStorm, constantly improving the solution, constantly bringing more and more stuff to it, and that's why it's important to have such a good partner to support all these new features. For example, our NHD 500s, which is a 1 gig solution based on JPEG 2000, it's constantly getting more improvements. We just removed the requirement of jumbo frames. We reduced the latency to 3-4 milliseconds. Instant switching speed is there, so it's really getting the edge of the possibilities of this technology, and that's why we need to have a Netgear on the side to on our side to support all these features. Also, I want to touch base that the 10 gig solution in SDVOE, we are SDVOE members, so we also have a 10 gig solution, and I think the problem with the problem potential problem was always the price point of the 10 gig. And now I would like to hear from you where you see this in future. I think the price is still going down, how the technology is growing, and and I think it will be more affordable. And I really see that SDVOE and the 10 gig solution is going to have a bright solution in future.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing this up. Well, WyreStorm and Netgear, we are in the SDVWE Alliance for many, many, many years, right? And my heart will always remain with SDVWE because back in 2015 and 16, this is how we started. This is how Netgear, not Netgear AV yet, Netgear discovered that there was something else than IT, in this world, and that we maybe could help in the AV industry. So, you know, yeah, 10 gigabit might seem scary, but it's not. And price, yeah, we always say, oh, price, price. But of course, it's obviously a little bit more expensive. But two things I want to tell you. First, even if you want to distribute video over IP, you have a lot of 1 gigabit streams, right? You said JPEG 2000, but you have other codecs too, and you can go close to the 1 gigabit. And if you have a lot of them, you need 10 gigabit everywhere anyway, right? Because you cannot allow for bottlenecks. So with SDVOE, this is a little bit different. This time, the 10 gigabit is everywhere at the edge because you cannot afford to do the compression. So we should not select the compressed video, the uncompressed video, the 1 gigabit JPEG 2000 or SDVOE based on price. I believe instead we should say, okay, can we afford some compression, some microseconds of latency? Is that acceptable? If the answer is yes, then the WyreStorm compressed video solution is a good fit, right? But you have a lot of use cases where you can't have more, you can't have any latency. If you have a large video wall on top of a stage in an opera house, and if you are zooming on the singer, you can't have any kind of microsecond delays between the reality and what is magnified. So compression, sometimes you just can't have it. So if you can't sustain any compression, things about operating rooms in hospitals for surgeons and doctors. That's the same thing. So in that case, SDVOE is probably the best solution because there's virtually zero compression. It's instant. You talk about nanoseconds, right? A little bit like in the ST2110 in the broadcast industry. And to finish on that, the WyreStorm SDVOE is, of course, widely supported across the Netgear AV line. And even though the compressed video is probably the vast majority of the AV installations in this world from now on, Netgear AV keeps developing bigger and bigger 100G, soon enough 400G aggregation switches so that we can support you even in very large, thousands and thousands of uncompressed 10 gig SDVOE deployments.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I also like the SDVOE and the approach they have, especially the feature that we support is the transceiver. So the one box can receive and transmit. People needs to remember that it's always a two-way communication. So you can have 10 gig in one way and 10 gig in another way. So this allows us to send and receive a 10 gig stream at the same time. Wow, Laurent, this was really, really amazing. A lot of really good information. I think people will learn a lot from this. I love the Netgear and WyreStorm partnership because, as I said, we really go along and we really go together. The last question is like, is there anything what we can look from the Netgear in future? If we can sneak peek into something, or should we just wait for Infocom?
So looking at the future, this is what you do, and this is what I do. This is what the product managers do. So yeah, I'm always impatient because I live in the future personally. But what you can expect on both sides, right? Netgear AV being the fabric for the WyreStorm deployments is a easier to use, more agile. Uh, network fabric. Okay, so to achieve that goal, you mentioned the LLDP discovery. In the future, the engage controller, the way we are going to manage, configure, troubleshoot AV networks will probably go to the cloud so that we can have a remote access. And as I told you, Netgear is a public company, so unfortunately, I need to restrict myself here. Let me conclude with three small things, okay? If you want to get more information and a global understanding of what Netgear AV is doing, you just go to www.netgear.com/AV. I said that this AV operating system is making AV more simple. That's true, but there's still a few things to know. You know, how to calculate the bandwidth, how to properly design a network, how to push a profile across hundreds of switches. So we have a certified training curriculum on the Netgear Academy. So I would actually advise to get certified level 1 or Netgear AV level 2 certified. You go to the academy.netgear.com. And last but not the least, I believe that why WyreStorm is so happy at the end to collaborate with Netgear AV is that we, Netgear AV, take on the service and the support for you at WyreStorm so that you can focus on your AV and we handle the fabric. We make sure that the network is well designed, and if there is any problem, because you know, sometimes WyreStorm can be deployed with hundreds and hundreds of different small AV endpoints that your system integrators are joining to the to the system, and we handle the support. So in order to get free support around the world, just send a message to the Netgear AV group, sending an email to proavdesign@netgear.com.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And yeah, I want to add to that as well. So, first, the Netgear support is amazing. I think everybody should use, especially the design support. Whenever you're designing the AV over IP system and you want to use a Netgear, you have that support and you should use it because these guys will help you out to design your system, calculate your bandwidth, and make sure that you have enough space to put all that bandwidth in the pipeline. Also, when it comes to cloud, WyreStorm is part of the Excite solution. So we have Sigma Cloud monitoring oral AV over IP devices, and that's gonna be more in future where we're adding more and more possibilities on the cloud. And yeah, the last thing is the training. I think it's really important to train our customers from both sides. I saw that we both use exactly the same company to generate those trainings. So our Network HD training was done from the as the same style as a Netgear training. Same person did the training. So I think it was really done on the high level, and everybody should go and check it out. It's free of charge, and it's just a matter of registration. Thank you once again, Laurent, for this, and I'm really looking forward to see you on Infocom and check out all your features.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Zach. Thank you.
All right, so we just have to stay online for the